आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are some facts which have come out as a result of a detailed interview with Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Assam Chief Minister, which are alarming. On infiltration, he says that in a state where natives have become a minority or in the process of becoming a minority, it raises a high alarm. He's saying Assamese-speaking people, Assamese people will be a minority in Assam. He says populations from other countries come to Assam, and in the process, Assamese people are pushed to a wall. He says once you have 40%, he's talking about 40% Bangladeshi Muslim population, the politics, economy, political and economic power will start shifting. He says they, that is the Bangladeshi Muslims, will then win elections in Assam. And gradually, according to Himanta Biswa Sarma, the composition in legislation, government services, police, other areas, distribution of wealth, everything will change, ladies and gentlemen. Everything will change. But the most alarming thing he's spoken about is the chicken's neck. What is the chicken's neck? 22 kilometers, which has a Siliguri Corridor called the chicken's neck. It's in a real danger. No one talks about it. About who is there on the chicken's neck. According to Himanta Biswa Sarma, he says on the Indian side, everybody in the chicken's neck area has come from Bangladesh. He says that according to him, tomorrow, if the government of Bangladesh says, let me take over the chicken's neck, the local people who have come in from Bangladesh will say, please come. And he says their loyalty will be on which side nobody knows. Now, Himanta Biswa Sarma is right. He's citing official census numbers. The Muslim population in Assam 2011 is 34%, trending towards 40% by 2025, based on historical growth rates. The narrow, and that's how I'm coming to the main point, don't think this is Assam's problem. Don't think. It's a threat to the country. The narrow Siliguri Corridor, often referred to as the chicken's neck, is a narrow stretch of land in Bengal, West Bengal, that connects India's mainland to its northeastern states, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura and Meghalaya, collectively known as the Seven Sisters. Infiltration here can sever the line connecting the northeast to the rest of India, threatening strategic access. This land bridge, literally, is just about 22 kilometers wide at its narrowest point. Its very narrow width makes any infiltration or hostile settlement along the corridor disproportionately impactful, potentially blocking supply chains and even military troop deployment. We have to be very careful. This is therefore a strategic choke point. Any disruption in this corridor, be it from military conflict or internal unrest, will disconnect India's northeastern states from the rest of the country. If residents there have cultural and familial ties more with Bangladesh or loyalties with any other country other than India, or any ideology other than nationalism, it will make loyalty unpredictable in extreme scenarios. This sensitive patch has Bangladesh to the southwest, Nepal to the northwest, Bhutan to the north. If hostile elements settle here, a single obstruction can halt logistics, delay reinforcements, and paralyze the region. This is where the infamous region, this is a very dangerous area. This is also a sensitive area, ladies and gentlemen. Doklam is here. If infiltrators continue here, supplies to the northeast can be blocked, troops can be cut off, and communication lines can be severed. This is where the Chinese threat of attack is perennial. If infiltration coincides with external aggression, India's strategic position can be targeted. The northeast can be isolated. Ladies and gentlemen, this area has proximity to China's Chumbi Valley, a tri-junction of India, Bangladesh and China. Therefore, the demographics in the chicken's neck, we need to protect. The Siliguri Corridor remains the most vulnerable and strategically prized target for anti-India forces. Yunus went to China last year and spoke about our Siliguri Corridor, the chicken's neck. He said, and I quote, "The 7 states of India, the eastern part of India, are called the 7 sisters. They are landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean." This is his intent. Therefore, watch what Himanta is saying very carefully. Sarjil Imam, we remember what he said, the anti-national Sarjil Imam, now in jail, thankfully. He should stay there for the rest of his life. He says 5 lakh people can permanently cut off India and the northeast, put so much debris on the tracks that it takes a month to remove it. It is our job to cut off Assam from India, to separate it. We can stop supplies because the chicken's neck belongs to the Muslims. The chicken's neck, according to him, has a Muslim majority. Ladies and gentlemen, he said stop the supplies. Chicken's neck belongs to the Muslims. And when I highlight this, I want all the wokes, all the pseudo-liberals to wake up and see what's happening. Think of your country. This is not a right-wing, left-wing issue. In fact, I want the government to do more. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an AIMIM MLA, Tausif Alam, in the region who says we are not in favor of an army camp. We will not allow any construction of any army camp. Who is he? Who is Asaduddin Owaisi to talk like that? Now, on top of this, there is infiltration there which is unchecked. Troops can be cut off, communication lines can be severed, external adversaries look for vulnerabilities. Tonight, I want to say this to everyone. This is the future of Assam. This is the future of the entire Northeast. This is the future of the country, which is hinging on what happens in this narrow strip of land. And therefore, I call for the heavy militarization of the Siliguri Corridor. The heaviest possible militarization of the Siliguri Corridor. I said take that entire area, turn it to an effective cantonment. Strengthen it to a point and, if necessary, change the demography of the region so that it remains no longer vulnerable. Create zones out there which can allow us to move our military within seconds. Arm it to an extent that nobody can look our way. Ladies and gentlemen, as concerned Indian citizens, we call upon a national movement to save the chicken's neck. We can look away no longer. Elections can wait. National interest cannot. Let's debate.
ভারতের যারা সেপারেটিস্ট আছে বাংলাদেশে আমরা তাদেরকে আশ্রয় প্রশ্রয় দিয়ে যে সেভেন সিস্টার রয়েছে সেটাকে বাংলাদেশ থেকে
eastern part of India called 7 Sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region.
There is a strategic reason behind targeting India's chicken's neck. Wedged between Bangladesh to the south and west and China to the north, the corridor is the only bridge between the northeastern states and the rest of the country. The threat from China and Bangladesh is real. Barely 135 kilometers from the Siliguri Corridor, Bangladesh is reviving an old World War II airbase at Lalmonirhat, reportedly with Chinese help. The geographical curse could turn out to be an asset for our enemies if it isn't fortified soon. The threat has now been highlighted by Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma.
We have all along discussed the chicken neck. Yes. But have we ever discussed who are the people in the chicken neck? Everybody say chicken neck, 22 kilometer, 22 kilometer. But everybody who is there in the chicken neck and in the 10 kilometer vicinities of chicken neck in the Indian side, everybody have come from Bangladesh. So tomorrow, if government of Bangladesh say that let me take over the chicken neck, Now the local people will say, please come. Because they themselves have come from Bangladesh.
The Indian Army has reinforced its eastern frontier by establishing 3 new garrisons. Lachit Borphukan Military Station, Assam. Forward base at Kishanganj, Bihar. Forward base at Chapra, West Bengal. But the Chief Minister says this won't help.
We have given a land to army to set up a garrison, set up a unit in Dhubri. So fine. But who are the neighbor of that garrison? 50 kilometers, that garrison is surrounded by the people who have come from Bangladesh at some point of time. Because debate is which year they came. If they come post 71, you can say them as a foreigners. If they come prior to 71, they are Indian. But I become Indian by law. I acquire citizens of Indian. But my spirit will be with Sharia, my spirit will be with Bangladesh, or my spirit will be with the Constitution of India. That loyalty will be which way it will go. Nobody can predict.
Let's be clear. With changing dynamics in Bangladesh, Chicken's Neck has become extremely vulnerable, and it's time for radical measures to protect our land.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll play the entire interview over the weekend. Now, the alarming point there is, welcome Tohin, spokesperson of the BJP, General G.D. Bakshi, Deepak Vora, we know Sushil Pandit, all strong nationalist voices. We have Advocate Umair Junaidi, political analyst, Abbas Haider of the Samajwadi Party, Pulla Rao, political analyst pro DMK, and Nikhil Jain from Delhi. Now, the thing is that what Himanta Biswa Sarma has said is that the Chicken's Neck area is dominated by people who are from Bangladesh. And he's saying doesn't matter whether they came before 71 or after 71, or even more recently, they are infiltrators, but their loyalty is to Bangladesh. He said in an extreme situation, these people will not stand by India. So the only option for us, therefore, is 1, to remove the infiltrators, and B, to change the demography of the region. This is my thought. We need to do something very quickly here, obviously. What are the other options? General Bakshi, can I have your thoughts, please, on this? It's a real big concern we are facing today as a country.
You know, absolutely. You know, Arnab, when I was serving, and I was in the Military Operations Directorate 1999-2000, then we got reports, intelligence inputs, that the ISI was trying to settle Afghans along the rail line in the Siliguri Corridor. I'm talking of the year 2000, 25 years from today. We had these intelligence inputs, and what the Chief Minister of Assam has just said only seems to corroborate that, you know, the attempt to create an internal threat in a very sensitive strip of territory by inverting the demographics. The point at issue is, Arnab, I think we'll have to think beyond purely defensive measures. Not only do we have a Chicken's Neck, Bangladesh has 2 Chicken's Neck. One is the Rangpur's Chicken Neck, and if you take that area, it will take us about maximum 10 to 12 hours to capture this whole bulge and base it on defensible lines of the Brahmaputra and the Padma, you know, so that it forms an L like that.
Bottom grid.
And you can rest your defenses on that, so that there is no question of anybody trying to do a surprise attack from there. The second Chicken's Neck that Bangladesh has is in the Chittagong area across the Feni River, right? I don't think we should be thinking defensively of how do we increase troop density in the corridor, how do we sanitize the population in the corridor. We just create, we take out that thumb that sticks out towards India. You know, that Rangpur thumb, that hilly line, you know, that has to be cut off. And if Bangladesh doesn't behave with its Hindu population and drives them out into India, drives them out into India like it had done in 1971, the Pakistanis had done, then we can resettle them all in this area. We can create an inversion of demography here. In the Chattogram belt, in the Chittagong hill tracts, the population is already Buddhist and Hindu. So I think it's about time to cut off these two wings and let the whole of Bangladesh into.
You are talking about taking an aggressive
that will
position.
Keep dancing up and down.
No, you're talking about taking an aggressive position,
chicken.
but the point is, and I think we could have used many more parts of Himanta's interview. I think we still can, if our desk is active. I'd like to pull it out. Obviously, when a chief minister says, which means we are in a very, very precarious situation, Deepak Vora. Something has gone terribly wrong. And there is a great amount of vulnerability. Now, with Chinese help, Bangladesh is building a base there. The demography, according to Himanta, and he's gone public, is not loyal to India. And it's 22 kilometers at its narrowest point. And the population in western Assam has been taken over by Bangladeshis, 70–75%. So it's a whole region which is extremely vulnerable. We're looking at a certain national security crisis situation here. Certain. Deepak Vora, how do you view this? Have we been too complacent about it?
Thank you very much, sir. Always a pleasure to be with you. I just heard General Bakshi, and then we'll be hearing all the others. I was in the corridor not too long ago, and as we are speaking today, sir, I'm somewhere very close to the Bangladesh border with West Bengal. This is what you refer to and we call demographic aggression. Not able to do anything else, send in people who can go on producing children. Now, sir, what I have understood from my years in the Foreign Service, 52 years, the defense of this area lies in an offense somewhere else. And that offense we can very easily do. Bangladesh does not have the wherewithal to challenge us. In fact, when he talks of the Seven Sisters being severed, etc., we are the guardians of the sea, the man is a buffoon. Does he know that the Seven Sisters are rabidly Islamic? The idiot doesn't know that they are Christians and that he's having problems on his Myanmar border, one of the other countries that he has a borders. He is having problems with the Arakan army. The man is demented when he talks like this. So, sir, my own feeling, having seen what the Israelis are doing, they have told us that they are also facing demographic aggression, and they will deal with it by kicking out these people. What they are saying is find a country that will take the Palestinians of Gaza. I think we just have to push these guys back. 85% of the border is fenced. The other 15% should be done as quickly as possible. Sir, let me just tell you, it's a concern for us, but I would not panic, sir. The Chief Minister is right to point it out, but we are strong enough to deal with this, sir.
Well, I hope we are. I think sometimes we take things for granted. And military deterrence erodes instantly. India's ability to reinforce Arunachal Pradesh, for example, or respond to a northern crisis depends on uninterrupted access through Siliguri. We need uninterrupted and uninterruptible access through Siliguri. The Chief Minister says the proposed and new cantonments is covered 50 kilometers perimeter by a hostile population. And the thing is that Himanto's spoken his mind. But we seem to be still too busy wanting to have some say in Bangladesh. I think, you see, demographic leverage can replace Pularao, replace military force. There is a danger. What if these people are working to a plan? What if these people have changed the population dynamics of Western Assam with a plan? Change the demographics of the chicken's neck to a plan? Increasing the Jamaat-e-Islami Sharia influence in Bangladesh, the hardline influence in Bangladesh to a plan? carried out the killings of Hadi and others to polarize the local situation faster and harder to a plan. Work with BNP Khalida Zia was never our friend, and the Jamaat-e-Islami to create a new terroristan in Bangladesh to a plan. Right? And there is Mamta Banerjee who says, we have to get Bangladeshis to vote for Trinamool Congress. You see, we have not understood, Pulla Rao, what we are sitting on. We're sitting on a possible national security situation.
It is only a challenge. So I heard the Learned General and the Learned Ambassador. I heard the Learned General and the Learned Ambassador. I was hoping both of them would touch one subject. Chittagong was given to India in 1947. Cyril Radcliffe suddenly changed it. The people of Chittagong celebrated August 15th, 1947 as if they were in India. Suddenly next morning they woke up and told, you're in Pakistan. Pakistan soldiers came there. Why has Mr. Himant Biswa Sarma gone back to history? What is he talking? You're talking about demography. You're talking about force. More than all of this is the brain power which has to work. Did not India find a way from Chabahar to Afghanistan? Break the landlocked situation, centuries-old situation of Afghanistan? Why can't my humble submission, where the British left Africa, as all those gentlemen there know, they just divided the country into squares. That's why Rwanda and Congo, all these countries are fighting each other. There is a doctrine now going on in the world courts that colonial divisions need not
what
be
Himanta
accepted.
is saying, you're going off track and giving me a lesson.
No, I heard what Himanta
I want
said.
Tuhin to come in. No, what he's simply saying is that, when you are fighting a war, suppose a war is thrust on you, you need the local population to be neutral or with you. You're not understanding. No. You are not understanding. He's saying that I am not comfortable about who's on the Indian side. He's an experienced politician. He's an experienced politician.
If a war starts, the distance from Mizoram to the sea is 40 kilometers. And Burma, why hasn't the government of India asked for a 99-year route, 40 kilometers? Why haven't they done anything proactive?
Well, he's talked about a flashpoint. 1 minute. He's talking about a potential future flashpoint. And we need to look at the risks of that. Honestly, not pretend nothing will happen. Yes, Tuhin.
Well, good evening, Arnab. Good evening, everybody. It's a very important subject that you have raised. While we are fully cognizant of the geographical vulnerability of the Chicken Neck Corridor, let me state this with responsibility on your show that any nation which dreams of altering the Chicken Neck Corridor will be doing it at grave risk, will be delusional in doing so. The last time Muhammad Yunus said this, we responded with punitive action. A transshipment facility which was opened for Bangladesh, through our ports was withdrawn, which is costing Bangladesh 65,000 crores annually. If they continue to, not mend their ways, more punitive action will follow. The last time he said that, Himanta Biswa Sarma ji had outlined 3 chicken necks in Bangladesh. More importantly, I don't know why Muhammad Yunus, does not seem to understand that, the absence of, it's no longer a landlocked, it's land completely with no access to sea. And Pulla Rao himself does not understand it. Sitwe Port in Myanmar has been functional for the last couple of years. So a lot of cargo, a lot of goods which used to flow through the Chicken Neck have been going through the Sitwe port and then to Mizoram. So this is something happening. But anyway, coming back to the Chicken Neck Corridor, when you say that the demography of that region has been distorted, Arnab, you belonging to Assam know that this has been going on from 1949. There is a letter from Gopinath Bordoloi in May 1949 telling Nehru that if this illegal migration is not stopped, there will be grave consequences. In fact, the only time when we started talking about it seriously was from 2015 onwards, and more so after Himanta Biswa Sharma took over as CM. So let me once again assure you, we are completely cognizant of the vulnerability of the region, and we are doing everything to fortify it. Anybody who's dreaming or fantasizing that the chicken neck can be taken away from India will run the risk of not seeing his own country.
I would like Abbas to also come in, and on top of that, Abbas, the fact is that what happens when, because of Bangladeshi infiltrator, in that interview also, Himanta says, see, I can push back the situation by 5 or 6 years, but we can't change it. It is so sad that there is a sense of inevitability there. I want Abbas and then Sushil to come in when he says that, you see, the Bangladeshi Muslims will take over Assam. And because of the inorganic entry of Bangladeshi Muslims, Assam, the land of Kamakha, is going to become, and I'm saying it with the sense of certainty, it will become a Muslim majority state. Now, consider the situation. We can all sit in our Lutyens' echo chambers and say, kuch nahi hoga. When and not if, Sushil. No, 1 minute. When and not if. 1 minute. We get everyone. When and not if Assam becomes a Muslim majority state. Chicken's Neck is populated largely by people, according to Himanta, having their loyalties to Bangladesh.
That's absolutely
right. 1 minute. And when the demographic uncertainty at that point of time will compromise us all. You want to sit today, you want to sit in Greater Kailash, Delhi, and assume that nothing will change. This is what I'm saying.
Why does he have to say things in a television interview, Arnab, instead of actually seeking audience with the Prime Minister? Because so far as I'm concerned, he's raised an important strategic issue. And
of course he has. Why is it making you uncomfortable?
No, not at all. I feel this is an important issue and the government of India needs to think about it. So I actually, before the debate, I called up a friend of mine who's posted in the same region. He's in the army and he was actually fuming about it. He was like, these politicians have nothing doing. They are going to sit here till this 22-kilometer point becomes 12-kilometer point, and only then will they act. Because right now, in this region, we have the ITBP, we have the BSF, we have the Indian Army, and we have the CRPF. Two of these organizations are with the Home Ministry, 2 are with the Defense Ministry, and there is no plan for a singular command. There is so much strategic vulnerabilities, and Himanta is raising those points. Kudos to him for that. But the problem is that he, layers
I'm putting it here, viewers. Viewers, I repeat it again. 1 minute. Just let me explain to the people of the country, Gen Z and everyone. Viewers, a large part of our country, show the map, please. A large part of the country, the map, I said, production team, is connected to the rest of the country by a distance that is smaller than the expressway connecting Noida and Greater Noida. It is as much as that. It is less than the distance between Chennai and Mamalapuram. Maybe half the distance or one-third the distance between Chennai and Mamalapuram. Can I be more precise than that? We are not realizing, Tuhin, how serious this is. There must be a national movement for it. And some politician is saying, I won't allow the army to come in. That means that's also to a plan. I didn't hear you, BJP, take on Owaisi when he said that. Why?
No, I'm sure the state leader must have done that.
Why state center national issue?
No. There are too many things. I was not aware of the statement of AIMIM till I got a call from your, because we follow the statement of important leaders. Some AIMIM MLA, we don't count them. AIMIM is a fringe. We don't take them as serious players. But anyway, point is over here.
They've got more seats than the Congress in parts of Bihar.
Let me state this with responsibility that chicken neck corridor, if Congress says 22 can become 12, this is not the Congress era. 22 can become 23, it will not become 12. Arnab, the entire development of Northeast, that apart from the economic angle that it has, it also has a security angle. if 8 airports have gone up to 17 in the last 11 years, there are also so many new army bases. There are so many new helipads for army, for the armed forces, which we are not even aware of, because, those have been done with a lot of discretion, keeping in mind the security aspects of the Northeast. So this is not the Congress era when, 38,000 square kilometers of land would go to China, when 22 kilometers can become 12. 22 can become 23. It will not become 12. Having said that, I'm acknowledging, there is a geographical vulnerability attached to that region, which we are fortifying. In fact, kudos to Himanta Biswa Sharma, who's the first chief minister of Assam after Gopinath Bordolai way back in 1949, to be so candid on this issue, to be so futuristic on this issue. In fact, as you are aware,
is this a problem or is it not? Hemant says it's not, you say it is. I'm sorry, Hemant says it is, you say it's not.
As you are aware,
decide whether it's a problem or not.
As you are aware, the demography takeover of Assam has been allayed by at least 20 years.
And what is the Home Minister doing?
That by at least 20 years.
Every state after state, you say the demography is changing and it's full of Bangladeshis and Myanmaris. What are you doing?
Nikhil, let him know. Let Abbas come in after that. Abbas.
What is Mr. Jain talking? Assam itself is a classic example where the demographic takeover has been allayed by at least 2 decades. He doesn't even realize that the entire delimitation exercise has a certain astuteness to it. Which obviously, if he's not able to understand, I'm not going to explain it to him. But the entire demographic takeover of Assam has been allayed by at least 2 decades, and it will be further allayed to the next 5 decades. We are doing everything to protect every inch of India. This is not the Congress era. So please be reassured that.
But the modern security doctrine,
notwithstanding,
the modern security doctrine. One minute. The modern security doctrine, and Tohin, see, also I need to tell you something. One must never be so convinced in government that we are infallible, we are unquestionable, we are near perfect, and everybody else is flawed. This should
Especially when they're themselves a failure.
1 minute, please.
Have they been able to contain the Bangladesh situation?
Baba, let me speak. No, I just want a necessary but inevitable osmosis between people who are critics of the government on an issue by issue basis, and the government must not appear to be hurt, upset or embarrassed, but maturely take the feedback. Now, all of you people say that, Arnab, you are a veteran journalist. I object. I'm not yet a veteran. I will be in some time. Pulla is a veteran. But I am certainly a mature journalist. As a mature journalist, I would say that a modern security doctrine, Sushil, and this is you should ask India's wargaming expert, G.D. Bakshi. We treat such points as requiring multiple levels of redundancy and permanent protection. I feel that when a chief minister comes and says that we are vulnerable, the whole establishment should stand up and take notice, saying he's speaking the truth. We have no geographic redundancy. Militarization is not a choice. We should have done it a long time back. Sushil, that's all I'm saying. Problem is we seem to feel that things will not go bad. But we must apply Murphy's Law in these situations. Sushil.
Arnab, I wish I had the luxury of being so confident and assured about how things are going to be. Let me add to a few facts that Bullarao has just shared with you. It was not just Chittagong. Even Sylhet was given to us by Sir Cyril Ratcliffe. Gopinath Bordoloi gave it up. That place went into referendum and Jinnah manipulated that referendum to grab it away from India. That's number one. Number two, there has been an incessant infiltration into Assam because Jinnah always wanted Assam also along with Bengal. And this was one of his unfinished agendas. 45 years ago, if ASU hit the streets because of Mangal-Dei electoral rolls, they were sounding an alarm bell. What did Himanta Biswa Sarma's former party do? They crushed the movement. Remember Nelly massacre. Remember what Assam went through during those movement days. They refused to heed those warnings and instead foisted Anwara Taimur, an earlier version of Mamata Banerjee. Thankfully, her tenure as Chief Minister of Assam was short-lived, but the mindset continued. Assam continued to hemorrhage. Today, 45 years later, we are lamenting about the same issue. And sorry, this government doesn't give me confidence. On 1st of July 2015, this government gift-wrapped 25,000 acres of land, Indian land, as enclave swap to Bangladesh. And got these 300,000 Bangladeshis come marching in as citizens of India. They were given an option to choose between Bangladesh and India as citizens. This is what we have allowed to be done in the last 10 years. Our sensitivity about territory, about demography is zilch. People have been screaming from rooftops that demography is destiny. Do something about it. We have done nothing about it in Kashmir. There, the Hindu demography has collapsed and has been allowed to stay so for the last 35 years. Now, demography is collapsing in the bordering districts of Bangladesh, of Bengal, of Assam. We are doing nothing about it except reassuring people that nothing will happen. We are seeing things happening to the contrary. There are no concrete plans except some platitudes here and there. And there is no reason to be confident, no reason to be easy about. Yes, Chittagong hill tracts are Hindu-Buddhist bulk population. We must look at it because that will give us a sea route to northeast. Currently, we have to depend on Burmese port of Sitwe and then Kaladan system. We don't have to always strain our ways out of this quagmire. We must find a straight and simple route. Rangpur Chicken's Neck is another area. These are our legitimate security goals. We must go for it. If Russia can take Crimea, if they can today stake claim on Donbass and be kinetic about it, if there are several other such examples, Donald Trump is asking for Greenland for his own security. Come on, we have an existential threat in Chicken's Neck. Let's not trivialize it. This is, as you said, as wide as the Noida, Greater Noida. Nothing more than that. And this is a vulnerable section.
Everyone, what?
We've done
They don't do this
nothing about
graphic.
it in the last 45 years. We've got very little time.
We have very little time. Sushil, Abbas, before I come in, I want to add a little bit here. Yeah, 1 minute. For Pakistan, this is a game. Nehru gave up on India. In '62, he said, my heart goes out to the people of, gave up on Assam. He said, my heart goes out to the people of Assam. He wouldn't have cared at all if the Chinese would have entered Assam and taken it over. He was the weakest man, unfortunately, our first selected Prime Minister. But 1971 made us complacent. 1971 made us complacent. We think the Pakistanis are not in this. I am saying with certainty tonight, my view is Pakistan will move very fast. The Islamist resurgent and Islamist takeover of the power vacuum in Bangladesh is a huge threat to our security. As we grow from a 4 to a 15 trillion economy, America and China won't want leverage on us, and the Pakistanis will use Bangladesh as that strategic linchpin to blackmail India. It will happen. The question is, we don't consider the fact that we have a structural threat to this corridor because of geography, demography, and external proximity. We don't want to move fast. We don't want to move hard. We should move hard and fast to save the chicken's neck.
Arnab.
And Abbas, I want you to come in. Yes, please. There is the assessment out here which is growing that there is something dangerous, a great degree of vulnerability to the chicken's neck which we need to move fast about. Abbas.
Arnab, first of all, we need to fix responsibilities right now because, they are talking about past
Other
2 decades.
visuals.
Tuhin was talking about the past 2 decades. And in the past
Not
2 decades, BJP was in power for almost 11 to 12 years. So we need to fix responsibility. Second alternative, there's no iota of doubt that chicken neck is the most crucial thing when the national security of our country is concerned, and we cannot risk it. And there has been alternate route like Kaladan and trilateral highway which has been stalled. The construction has been stalled, and even if you talk about the BRO road connectivity, it lags by 60% as compared to China, which is 90% higher than India's road. The third and most important thing, Arnab, if there is infiltration from Bangladesh, we need to teach a lesson to Bangladesh. Arnab, I believe that we have given birth to Bangladesh. हम उनके बाप हैं, बांग्लादेश के, हमने जन्म दिया है बांग्लादेश को. और जब बच्चा गलत करता है, तो बाप का फर्ज होता है, माँ का फर्ज होता है कि उनके कान पकड़े, उनको ठीक करें. So this is the time that the Indian military, by the order of Prime Minister of this country, should take a decisive action against the Bangladeshi people. Because we can't afford to have another rogue neighbor, just like Pakistan. We forget about military action. यहाँ पे तो जो bilateral trade हो रहा है for $13.5 billion, उसको भी नहीं बंद किया गया है. What action is our government taking? That is the most important thing. And we need strong decision right now, Arnab, because this thing can't be taken lightly. This is very important. And Arnab, another thing I want to talk about here is we have on another side, we have China, we have Bangladesh, we have Pakistan. We are surrounded by enemies from all the sides. We need to take every step very carefully. Arnab, inside our country, we need to have confidence on our people. Don't call Islamists. Call them people who are infiltrators, people who are not Indian, cannot be Indian. Their blood can't bleed for Indian. But people who are Indian, don't look at them with suspicion. That is very shameful, Arnab. You should decide. You should know who are Indian.
No, he's
not.
put out now. He's not being one minute. He's not putting suspicion. 1 minute. He's not trying to. He's just being a realist. I don't think Himanta is trying to put suspicion. He's talked about a reality. He's being realistic. Yeah, Tohin.
Rahul Gandhi in the Bharat Jodo Yatra saying that everybody living in the Siliguri Corridor.
1 minute. Tohin.
Arnab,
it's too rich on the part of Samajwadi Party, which has still not condemned the killing of Deepu Chandra Das, to wax eloquent on national security over here. Like I said, the last time Muhammad Yunus spoke about, I didn't barge in when you were speaking. Have that basic courtesy now. I didn't speak when you were speaking. Arnab,
no, but you can't peddle fake news on national television. We have been condemning that the worst thing one could do, and we want decisive action from you. Forget about condemnation. What is the government giving on this? What is the government giving? 2 words: condemnation and concern. We don't want condemnation and concern. We want decisive action from our government. You are answerable. Mr. Modi is answerable. You should answer to the people of this country. When he has promised to show lal to China.
One minute. Just one bit. See, this is, please realize, this is a potential national security situation. This is a potential national security situation.
I've been hearing him patiently.
Our army is the strongest army in the world, the bravest army in the world.
Arnab, I very clearly mentioned at the start of the show, the last time Muhammad Yunus spoke about...
Why have you? Are you covered?
Arnab, the last time Muhammad Yunus spoke about chicken corridor, we responded by withdrawing a transshipment facility which is costing Bangladesh 65,000 crores annually. Now, we need to understand the situation in Bangladesh is very volatile. We are dealing, please don't barge in now, have the basic courtesy. We are dealing with a rogue establishment, and that is why we have been watchful. Unlike Canada, which is 15,000 kilometers away, where we took a very confrontational stand when Trudeau was encouraging Khalistani elements, we need to be a little more watchful in the case of Bangladesh, but that does not mean we have not been assertive enough. Let me give you 2 assurances on your show today that we are completely cognizant of the security.
Is this 1 minute? Tuhin. See, we can't just say we are a hard state. 1 minute. Our security doctrine, we need to have an organized security doctrine, because we need to understand that the intersection of geopolitics, internal security and external threat will come together. Imagine a scenario, General Bakshi, where rail traffic through Siliguri is halted, for example, due to what people say are democratic local protests. where highways are blocked citing administrative or environmental grievances.
It will not happen.
1 minute, how do you say it will not happen? Anything can happen. You are, see, did you expect Shaheen Bagh to happen? Did you expect roads in Delhi were blocked? Did you expect Shaheen Bagh to happen? 1 minute, Mr. Junaid. Did you expect Shaheen Bagh to happen?
Did another Shaheen Bagh happen in the last 6 years?
Why is the window being changed when I'm speaking to Tuhin? It's so disturbing. Tuhin, did Shaheen Bagh happen?
Did another Shaheen Bagh happen in the last 6 years?
This is a wrong assessment.
Did another Shaheen Bagh happen in the last year?
Don't be complacent. Okay.
I'm not being complacent. I am assuring you that Shaheen Bagh was a wake-up call. We have ensured all the... we have been on an overdrive to ensure that no Shaheen Bagh happens
Tuhin,
again.
intelligence agencies, 1 minute, just one. Intelligence, yes, what is your problem, Mr. Junaidi?
My problem is the government is incapable of taking the decisions when it comes to the national security.
So what are you, agent provocateur?
What's the wake-up call?
Let me ask him, no.
What is the government doing since then? Hemant Biswa Sharma being a CM says Hindu, Muslim population.
Don't try to provoke. He will do something. You stop crying when the action is taken. GD Bakshi wants to come in. General Bakshi, we look at all likely scenarios and I am just trying. Mr. Junaidi, can I just get a view from Mr. Bakshi? Mr. Bakshi, is this a Achilles heel?
No, it is certainly a great vulnerability, a very pronounced vulnerability. It's been there for quite some time. Like I said, even in the year 2000, the ISI was planning to settle Afghans on either side of the railway track, right? Pathans on either side of the railway track. Now the problem seems to have been worse compounded by the infiltration, the non-organic growth of certain sections of the population which could, have sympathies on the other side. That cannot be taken lightly. And even while we are working on a long-term solution, and I think a long-term solution is to sever both the chicken's neck of Pakistan. Make this chicken's neck an elephant's neck. I mean, we have to do that. But in the interim, till such time as the government decides, I think there is a need to carry out a census of the population, detect any illegal migrants and throw them out.
Yeah.
Throw them out.
Throw them out, catch them and change the demography. Change the demography in a cold and calculated way.
The NRC.
Change the demography in a cold and calculated way so that on the litmus test of nationalism, everyone there, regardless of religion, is a nationalist. We need to arm that region.
I believe that not
just this area.
Otherwise,
take Rangpur, take that Rangpur district and even change its demography.
When the deportation is concerned, like in 2013, I can tell you a data, 5,234 people were deported, illegal immigrants, which came down in 2019 by 1,580. So you have the deportation of illegal immigrants from India to their respective countries and decrease in BJP government. The NRC has been carried out in Assam. The data we have, we all know what data says. So let's not divide India. We are together. Our blood, we bleed for our nation, Arnab.
I don't want empty statements now. I don't think, Sushil, when I am giving very practical inputs, I am getting prose. We don't want poetry, prose, fiction. The fact is, I'll give military points here. During the 2017 Doklam standoff, our advantage lay in rapid mobilization with clear access routes. Now imagine a Doklam-like situation where internal stability in the Siliguri Corridor delays movements by even 48 to 72 hours due to quote-unquote civil disturbance or law and order issues.
Yes.
And look at the implication of... I'm just saying be practical. Tuhin, you can't say it will not happen.
Arnab, I'll give you an example to this rhetoric of Samajwadi Party. Their worthy leader Azam Khan was digging up roads when India was mobilizing troops for 1965 war. Okay, that is the history of their leaders in their party. This is how they serve the nation when they say we bleed together for India. This is what they do. On television in your show, they can talk rich.
Arnab.
But
this is not fair. You can't let anyone spread fake news on your television, Arnab.
What?
No, this is not
what
acceptable.
they do.
What on television?
Don't spread fake news on TV. Don't do this.
What fake news? This is Azam Khan doing it. He had confessed to it in conversations. This is all over there. Just have some sense to read.
When did he do it? You have an FIR.
He was a teenager at that time.
How can you put such allegation on somebody where you don't have any proof? You have any proof? Show it on television right now.
Sue me and I'll prove
you can say anything you want. That's not fair.
Sue me and I'll prove. I'll prove it to you. Sue me.
You show me. You are claiming something which is far from reality.
It is not far from reality. This is common knowledge.
You have some evidence to support your claim?
Yes. The same man called Bharat Mata died.
From the WhatsApp university, this common knowledge comes from the
WhatsApp said, university. This
common knowledge comes from the WhatsApp university which you follow.
Do you remember? Okay, do you remember his statement when he called Bharat Mata a lion? When he called Bharat Mata a lion, do you recall that statement?
I believe at this point of time, when there is threat to our chicken neck, we should talk about the national security of the country. When we should.
Yes, we should.
India is
we should. And we should also be aware of those who we cannot trust within our ranks.
We have ample amount of time to discuss our domestic differences. We have ample amount of time. We will discuss domestic differences some other day. But today we need to stay together. Today we need to stay together. Against our enemies, against the enemy of our country. And our government should also stand.
With all responsibility, on your show, let me just give you two assurances to the nation today. Number one, you will not hear any of our leaders say, my heart goes out to Assam or to the Northeast, because we are on top of the situation. Number two, we are, at the highest level, a strategy is being worked out to, foolproof and fortify the Northeast completely, which is a plan in action from 2015. Why would we invest 5 lakh crores of capital expenditure only in the Northeast, except, to fortify it from every angle? This has been the objective, and whatever remains to be done will be taken up. So, this is not the era of Congress party where the Congress leaders would be happy to abandon, would be okay with abandoning certain states and then give out an apology. We will fight for every inch of this country, come what may.
Well, I mean, one minute. I get a counter coming in from Sushil, very cynical about that. Sushil, and then I'm coming to Deepak Vora. 1 minute. Sushil, General Bakshi wants...
Arnab, what happened? We must never forget, on 1st of July 2015, in the name of exchange of enclaves, on balance, we lost 25,000 acres of Indian territory. And at that time, we also had to offer option of opting for Indian citizenship, and Bangladeshi Muslims opted for Indian citizenship and came marching in straight away. So we lost territory, we gained, we lost in terms of democracy.
That was a swap.
This happened on 1st of July 2015. I dare anyone refuse this.
That was a swap with an establishment in Pakistan, with an establishment in Bangladesh was friendly.
That treaty was kept in abeyance by Indira Gandhi, who had signed that treaty. It was kept in abeyance after Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was assassinated. She knew that the territory was in hostile hands and we cannot lose further Indian territory. How could we give away? You remember, Janasangh and RSS had mobilized country for Siliguri Corridor. The slogan was, Rakta debo, pran debo, mati debo na. This was their slogan. This was their mobilization. Not even to give Siliguri Corridor for an enclave. On what basis did you give 25,000 acres of Indian territory? Who did you ask?
So that was, there have been different phases in our equation with Bangladesh. When at that point of time, Bangladesh was, the establishment Bangladesh had a friendly disposition towards India, and it was a swap.
Where is that disposition?
The swap, the exchange of...
Where is that? Rulers come and go. Territory is gone forever. That ruler who you gave a favor to is now sitting as a refugee in India. But your territory is gone. Do you realize this? Can you reclaim that territory? Who did you do this favor to? Is it your father's property?
One minute. Jail Bakshi is also coming in on that. One minute. The point here is, let's go back to the chicken snack. General Bakshi wants to come in. Deepak Vora will have the last word on this tonight. But General Bakshi, quick point to you out here. I think this has been underserved, the discussion on this issue. We're taking things a bit for granted. General Bakshi?
Certainly we are taking things a bit for granted, but Arnab, the final solution does not lie in defensive defense. It lies in an offense. We now need to get offensive. We cannot continue in the lackadaisical way. It is time to change borders. It is time to change geography so that the threat is removed once and for all.
Okay, I take that.
Both the chicken's neck of Bangladesh deserve to be under
Deepak Vora,
Indian military
your standpoint
occupation.
from a diplomatic perspective to that.
The democratic aggression that we are witnessing will be met with demographic expulsion. And the world will stand by us. Take it from me, sir. I've seen this in Israel, I've seen the United States, I've seen it in many, many countries. When your own integrity, your nativity, if I may use the term, is being threatened by the other, throw him out, sir. The people of India will stand solidly behind the government of India, sir.
Okay. I at that point of time, thank you all. Through this discussion, we have been able to put the focus on an issue called the chicken's neck. I believe this should become part of our mainstream political narrative. Ladies and gentlemen, building a narrative based on ideological principles is necessary. The people of India need to come together and get involved in the issue of the chicken's neck, in which the future generations have a stake. It will impact them greatly, 50 to 100 years from now. We cannot wait. I'll see you soon. Good night and goodbye.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।